What's going on, everyone? K-Mac back here with the Blitzburgh Coverage podcast. I am your host. Bringing it back, y'all. Today is a turned-up Tuesday. Man, the weather's beautiful, and it feels good coming off of that victory post-Sunday, Fun Day Sunday action, man. Let's recap this victory from the mountains of Denver, Colorado. What a interesting, scrappy, ugly, nasty performance type of victory this was. And we have a lot to dive into, man. In regards to how this game went, some interesting things that happened, first half, second half, all that good stuff, man. So we open up the game. I think it was like a 3-and-out defense, 3-and-out, just how we do it. And I think it was on the second drive. It was one of the earlier drives. Because I was driving on my way back home. We scored a touchdown to Darnell Washington, our first touchdown of the year. Who the hell would have guessed that? Who would have guessed first touchdown of the season for us would come in week 2 to Darnell Washington? It was actually cool to see him get the ball thrown to for once. Fields threw it in a good spot where only he could get it, and he was able to haul it in and got his toes in and start off the game 7-0. And so first half, really a lot of penalties. I mean, there was probably, just from both teams, probably 200 yards of penalties. And the referees were honestly just pretty bad Sunday. Saw a lot of holding calls, some ticky-tack calls. And so, yeah, man, that was the only touchdown we'd scored the rest of the game. First half, we were actually moving the ball pretty well, I thought, controlling the clock well. Put ourselves in some good third down spots, but there was a drive specifically in which it was a series where I think it was like almost 3 straight plays. Broderick Jones got flags for whether it be a false start or a holding call, and that holding call would be massive because on that specific play, we saw some vintage 7-84, bend to AB type play stuff with Justin Fields rolling out to his right, throwing an absolute rocket, and only in the spot where Pickens could get it. I mean, the dude just stuck it right to his helmet, one hand, 50-yard type of play that was nullified because of a holding call. You look at that, and you know, those are just such big plays that we can't afford to miss out on as this season continues, because this game really went how I thought it would go in my lead-up preview to the week. I mean, I was almost on point with a 16-13 type of victory. We ended up winning the game 13-6. So Boswell with 2 field goals, 2 good field goals, a field goal at end of half, I want to say. So we went up 10-0, and then he got one there later in the game. But, you know, just, especially with this past week, it was really evident we just have no playmakers that can get down the field. I mean, obviously it was pretty cool to see Pickens. You know, the stats aren't going to show it, but his stats aren't reflective of how he actually played. I thought he did pretty well against Patrick Surtain, to be honest with you. 2 for 29 doesn't show it, but, you know, you get nullified a touchdown because the Van Jefferson pass interference, OPI, which, whatever. I don't really think that was an OPI. They ran a pick play, and the defender initiated contact. It's whatever. The referees can't count on them fucks. So, you get nullified a touchdown there. So Freiermuth led the way with 4 catches, 40-ish yards, and this isn't going to be sustainable. But, you know, the way I view it is we're just playing right now with Fields in there, and I haven't even gotten to the way we've mismanaged this line. But right now, Fields, the formula for Fields in this offense is don't beat ourselves, and, you know, we're not really throwing the ball on the line of fire. We're making it a lot of easy reads, run first, run first, run first. And anybody that thinks this is the final product is an absolute clown. I told you guys leading up to the season, this offense is going to take a while before it really gets rolling. But the fact that we won this game 2-0 with what's out there, the defense is elite. I mean, there's nothing that needs to be said there in regards to them. They're the highest paid defense in the league, and it was pretty cool to see Corey Trice Jr. get his first interception of his career. He got playing time because Dante Jackson went down a few times, and he subbed in, and that play in the red zone, 3rd and goal, 2nd and goal, whatever it was an absolute game-changing play. You're probably talking a different kind of game if they score there. And now you're looking at 10-10, 10-13, or I don't even remember exactly how the script went, but the defense, T.J. Watt with the sack. And I'm not getting so high off of this win to the point where I'm saying this is the best defense we've had in a long time. They had the potential to, but let's keep it real. The Broncos aren't too good. Atlanta, better than Denver, yeah, but Bo Nix, the rookie quarterback. But, these are games we usually find a way to lose that eventually catch up to us in terms of getting the playoffs. So, 2 road dubs, our first AFC win, no complaints. But I want to get to the way we've managed this offensive line situation. So, leading up to the game last week, obviously I brought up the fact it sounds like they're going to play Dan Moore Jr. and then Fatanu sounds like he's going to play. So, when the hell, and I mean, I've seen this in college, maybe when you got a quarterback controversy, or maybe when you're dominating a less inferior opponent. But has anyone ever seen a time where you're trying to figure out your tackle situation by rotating in 2 different right tackles? What the hell kind of sense does that make? We're talking live game action. This ain't preseason. This is live game action. We're talking about Broderick Jones is starting in there, and then Fatanu was in there. I don't even remember how the fuck it went down, but I remember they benched Broderick Jones after the consecutive 3 flags. But and you can just see it, man. He's losing confidence in himself, and it's just like, dude, why did we draft 2 left tackles, but we're putting both in the right tackle? Dan Moore Jr. has played well this year. I'll give him that. But it's like, you should have just started Broderick Jones last year left tackle and put a core 4 right tackle. And now he'd already be confident. He'd already be a little more established because coming out of Georgia, Broderick was just a raw prospect. A lot of athleticism, but I mean, his performance Sunday wasn't good. His performances in the preseason weren't good. And he said after the game, if I'm not starting, I don't really want to play. And I don't blame him. If why are we being rotated in? This isn't a D-line where I'm tired and I need a break. Offensive line is about building chemistry, being in rhythm with your fellow linemen. It's all about rhythm. How can I get a rhythm and get a beat on a guy who's, D-line, O-line play has a lot to do with snaps and starting to get a feel for your opponent, what their game is. How can I get a feel for who I'm guarding and not knowing their arsenal of moves if I'm only in the game for 20 snaps and then you put Troy Fatanu in there? It doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know what to make of that. I think that's a complete shit show. I don't know why even draft? I don't get it. And now you're talking about if we let go of Dan Moore. It just creates problems that we don't need to create, but I don't know. Could be looking at another Kevin Don situation. I don't want to trade Broderick. I saw him play good last year at left tackle, and it's the only time he's ever played left tackle for us. Last year against the Ravens, I thought he played good. Didn't allow any pressures, no sacks allowed. And the Ravens, for what it is, they always have a solid pass rush, so you got to give them that much. But I don't understand. I don't get it. So we rotate in tackles after Broderick plays, just has some bad plays and he's in his own head. We put Fatanu in there, and honestly, I didn't really I don't really think he played bad. First kind of start, I guess, first snaps in the NFL, coming off an injury, he's finally healthy. So I don't know. Maybe there's a slight window for Broderick to get in there at left tackle, but I don't see this situation ending anytime soon. I don't know. We don't really need it right now. But now there's talks of, how's the quarterback situation going? I'm so tired of this shit. I'm so tired of this talk. I think for me, my take is as long as Fields is winning, it's kind of hard to take him out, especially if he has a good performance where it's like, whoa, maybe 300. I mean, because last week he should have had 250 yards. He should have had 200 plus yards and 2 touchdowns. He had that one to Darnell. He had that easy flat throw to Pickens. He got in the end zone, but it got nullified because of a flag. And then you look at that play where he rolls out to his right, throws an absolute rocket to Pickens. That's another 50-yard play. And with those plays in there, you're talking 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. And who was to say we don't finish after that 50-yard play? But the problem is, though, these are all just hypotheticals. These are ifs. But the fact remains, this offense is in conservative vanilla mode where I believe we're just trying to put Russell Wilson in a good spot when he comes back. I think once he's healthy and he's 100% ready to go, I think Tomlin's going to put him in. Now, it just all, I think a lot of it depends really on how this next game goes. Obviously, if we lose in week 3 against the Los Angeles Chargers, then you're probably talking Wilson gets to start week 4 at Indianapolis. But if Justin Fields plays good this week, a couple touchdowns, no turnovers, and we beat the Chargers, it's going to be hard to take him out. But I don't know. But this game, nonetheless, defensively, did our job. Shut down the run pretty well. The Broncos just don't have much on offense. Bo Nix really hasn't played well. 2 interceptions. Alex Highsmith had a sack. That was good to see. We got some good pressures. Just couldn't finish on some plays there. And JPJ with a couple holding calls. That's going to happen. And the fact that Pro Football Focus has the guy ranked 89th out of 100 just invalidates everything that dumb website, whatever they are, stands for. The dude has allowed like 3 catches in two games. What are we talking about here? So, whatever with that. Deshaun Elliott with some big-time plays, pass deflections. I thought that play he made, stuffing the run on 3rd and 1 for a big tackle for loss, was massive. We got dudes, man. Minka just chilling back there. Haven't even had to call his name yet, but it'll come, man. It'll come. They don't really throw it his way. And yeah, man. What can you say? Defense, A performance for me. Offense, C-, maybe even D+. The second half was pretty nasty. Really just. We only had 2 flags. A lot of the flags were in the first half. But the fact that second half we only had 2 flags and we put up 3 points, do not like that. We put the defense on the field a little bit too much for my liking. We still controlled time of possession, so that's massive. But the second half really just couldn't get anything going. First and second down, got behind the chains a little bit. Just too conservative for me. Jalen Warren got the ball more this week, so that was good to see. I thought he played a good game. Najee did his thing. I thought he ran hard. He always runs hard, though, man. When he gets going, it's nice to see him get 5 a pop, 5 a carry, at least 4. He's never easy to bring down. And, I'll be really looking forward to seeing how this offense looks when we have everybody where the fuck they need to be. I hopefully we get Roman Wilson back this week, but we'll preview that later on this week. Today is only Tuesday, so as we know, the injuries don't really get reported until Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But nonetheless, came out of the game relatively injury-free. And, it's good to start out 2-0, 2 road victories, like I mentioned. And there's still questions that have to be answered, but, it's very early in the season, and we're up 2-0 on the division. We're in first place. Cleveland, they got a win against Jacksonville. The Ravens losing to the Raiders. I thought they would win that game, but I thought it'd be a little more. I knew it'd be a close game, but I didn't think they'd win it. But they did. They lost the game. My apologies. They lost the game, and so that was good to see early. And then right after our game ended, the Bengals lose on a defensive pass interference to the Chiefs. And the Chiefs get into field goal range with Harrison Butker and make it when they win 26-25. Bengals 0-2. That's massive as well. They have 2 AFC losses. The Browns, 1 NFC loss. And the Ravens, 2 AFC losses. So, I'm not going to complain. I knew what was going to be. I knew the recipe and the ingredients coming into the season. I knew how this would go. Very vanilla conservative offense. Don't turn the ball over and control the clock. Get points when you can and let the defense feast. So let's keep it rolling. Hope you all enjoyed the review, recap, victory. Also, real quick, if you took your boys parlay, Steelers minus 2.5. Pratt Freiermuth with plus 25 receiving yards and Najee 50 plus yards. You hit on that, made you just a little something, just a little pocket cash. And we'll probably do some. I like doing that. I actually did the parlay, but I added one more to it to make some more money. But Najee didn't score, so I didn't hit on it. But that's okay. No big deal. When you're a baller like me, you can just do some cool shit. But that's enough of that. Hope you all have a great Tuesday, great week, and we'll catch up later this week, y'all. Here we go, man. Steelers, let's go. We're still a team on the move. This offense is still in transition. People don't understand that. Read between the fine lines, and you will find what you're looking for. But anyways, we out this thing. Let's go.